like the way it looks. Okay, hold on, guys. We're getting it all together.
What are you doing?
Okay. Scoot this way.
Or you could just scoot this.
No, we're too weird. Okay. All right. Hey guys, so we're gonna go ahead and get this thing started. Okay. See you later. So we just haven't been live over here in a while, so we thought we would get on here and just talk to you guys for a little bit, kind of talk about our plans, what we are going to do this year, what our goals are for this year, you know, all the good stuff. So, hey Roger Murray, if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask at any time, but we're going to go ahead and get started. I've wrote down a lot of questions that we either get on TikTok or YouTube or in person that I came across or that I remembered. So we're gonna, Brad hasn't seen these, so he doesn't know what I'm fixing to ask him. But the first one, the main question that everybody asks you.
Well, you might want to save that one for last then, for when people
No, I just need to ask it right now because it's the biggest question.
Oh God.
All right. Do you know that you look like Joseph Joyner?
Well, I told Joseph at Talladega last year if I had a dime for every time I'd heard that, I wouldn't have to worry about working no more. So I think I've heard it a time or two.
Okay. I think you keep the comments on here.
Let me just pull mine. Oh my God.
Maybe they'll stay up there now because
okay. Let me do this.
Thanks, who's Joseph Joyner?
That's
seriously the number one question. Every time we're around somebody, do you know you look like Joseph Joyner? Why does he look like Joseph Joyner? And I've even made a video on this before. He looks like Joseph Joyner because he has red hair and a red beard. That's it.
Here we go.
And obviously, everybody that has a red beard and red hair look the same. So
there, you can read the comments.
Okay, awesome. So I've got comments now.
Why do I look like I'm looking at the end of the phone?
That's what I'm saying. It's really weird right now.
I should be looking right there. Yeah, just leave it alone.
I don't know why it's so weird, because you would think, like, if it was centered, it would be.
Okay, good enough.
I think it's the way you got that turned.
No, don't. You're going to knock it over.
Okay. So, anyway, we're for real going to get started now. So, one of the biggest questions you get, other than that one, and this is a serious question, is where did the Rockledge rocket come from?
The Rockledge rocket came from when I was probably, I don't know, 16, 17, 18 years old, somewhere in there. We had to write an essay in school, and, in my mind, I thought of people that had nicknames like the Chattanooga Flash, the Flintstone Flyer, things like that. And so I wrote my essay on me being the Rockledge Rocket, and it just kind of stuck. So that's where that came from.
All right, can you look this way toward me? Can you look this way? I don't know if y'all see that redness there. If you see that, Maggie poked him in the eye last night. You were looking this way, and that's all I see, that big red spot. Him and Maggie were fighting, and I think she got the better end of it.
The bad thing is we was playing peekaboo.
So somebody asked yesterday if we were on live on TikTok, and somebody asked if you drove a rocket because of the Rockledge rocket.
I've seen where people could get that confused.
Yes.
I think people have actually asked that before.
All right, so we're going to get back to these in just a second, but for now, we're going to answer people's questions that are watching. Aldo Pine, sorry, I just really messed that up. Aldo said, hello, I was wondering why Brad uses a plastic fan instead of a steel or aluminum fan.
Well, the plastic fan reduces the robbing horsepower that a steel fan does. And, it being lighter weight, it just frees up more horsepower. It's easier on the front of the engine, and obviously takes more weight off the front of the car, which is what you try to get away from. So, And when plastic comes apart, it don't tear up as much stuff as steel.
Yeah, we actually broke our Gorsuch fan. It's not really broke; it's just chipped, and it didn't shatter it or it didn't really break it. It just chipped.
A steel fan, if you took a chunk out of a steel fan, it would have done some damage.
Right. He had killed a radiator and everything else.
Probably rack and everything else.
Yeah. All right. So have you seen the Joiners in person? I'm sure you have. Absolutely love the family. But they can all be horse jockeys. I was surprised how short the brothers were.
Yeah, they are kind of short. Yeah, we've met them at Talladega before. Last fall. So that was the first time we'd ever met them in person.
Why'd you meet them?
Yeah, that was kind of crazy. What was crazy about it was we was pulling into the track for the Saturday portion of the Saturday night show, and Dallas was videoing. She was videoing with the GoPro going down Speedway Boulevard. We turn in to go through the pit entrance at the short track, and as soon as we turn in, she put the GoPro down. About the time we got behind the back bleachers where they was parked on the next pit road over, we're driving through there going to go to our trailer, and a dust tornado comes through. It took Joseph and them's hood, slap off their car. Their hoods landed on Dallas's hood and then rolled over into some other pit stalls.
And some pit mats. They had stuff going everywhere.
So we stopped and helped them pick it up, but it was kind of crazy because she just had put the GoPro down when that darn tornado. And it's like the second time we've actually seen it in that exact same spot, the same weekend and everything.
It's always NASCAR weekend.
And it's just a dust tornado.
Every good dirt driver has a quality nickname. I love it. Somebody also said early on, video of the super engine. Not sure what.
We will whenever we get it. We don't have one right now.
Okay, but we've got a video of the Spec one.
Yeah, the video we posted today has a video of the Spec Motor running.
My hair's all jacked out. It didn't work right today. Patrick said Kamikaze Kid.
Yeah, that was another kind of self-tapped name that didn't stick as well as Rockwood's Rock. And Kamikaze Kid, I ended up on my roof, so I took that one off.
Well, that was because that's what they called you at work.
Yeah.
That was when you were working.
The Japanese, yeah, you're right.
They called you at work.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I know that came from somewhere. You didn't go on that.
You're right.
Aldo said, thank you for explaining the fan.
Welcome.
Ryan Lucas said, what's y'all's favorite track?
Magnolia. It's been a few years since we've been there and everything, but I've always enjoyed Magnolia. Every time we went over there, you can always race 2, 3, 4 wide, and you don't even touch the car beside you. So that's always been one of my favorite tracks.
I would say the same, Magnolia and Boyd's. If my driver can figure out Boyd's a little bit better, I think we'll like it even better.
Oh, I'm your driver?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. So does that mean I get to quit paying for stuff?
You don't pay for anything now.
Yeah.
You don't even know what's in our bank account. Okay, anyway, that's all the questions we got right now. So let's go ahead and get back to the list here. Just kind of go over, I know we put out a video earlier about our Amazon wish list. Just kind of do a quick rundown of what's on that and stuff like that, and why you put certain things on there.
Well, it's mainly just like your consumables, your oils, your filters, your WD-40s, towels, etc. It's just where we had people reaching out to us, and they was like, "Hey, what do you guys need? How can we help you?" And out of the few people we talked to, a couple of them recommended us doing that. So it's like, well, people's recommended it. It was kind of like Patreon, we didn't really want to do Patreon. People recommended it, so we done it. And
kept recommending it and kept recommending it.
So we finally done that. So we finally done the wish list, and there is stuff on the wish list that's kind of bigger items that we do need to get. So, it's not like, hey, we're wanting you to go get those things for us or anything like that. It's just something that's out there. If you are interested in it, you can. Mm-hmm. If not, that's okay too.
Right, there's $10, $20 stuff on there, stuff. And we appreciate everything. Be sure
Exactly.
If you do order from our Amazon wish list, it will say my name at checkout. Somebody's already pointed that out because it's from my Amazon account. We share an Amazon account. But be sure whenever you do order that you tell us, you put on there who it's from so that we know that we can thank you guys whenever you do order us something. Let's see. I'm just kind of trying to go through here and Is it true Carly Grayson wanted Brad but had to go with JD since Brad's racing somewhere else?
We'll have to leave that unannounced. There some things you just can't talk about.
Yeah, it's on a contract. Okay. Anyway, so what is the deal on the motor situation?
Right now it's just number one, our oil pump. Our oil pump, we sent it off to be freshened up. It was really kind of a last minute decision. Of course, it's got to go all the way across the country, so it takes a whole week to ship it, and then a whole week to ship it back, and after they've done the work to it. So that's a hold up, and then I want to say it's something to do with the valves and rod bolts or something along those lines. That's I can't remember, but it's parts issues.
And that's been an issue since COVID, unfortunately. We're just kind of have to deal with those. So we are getting a super motor, but that's just in the works. I know we've had that question a bunch, and right now we're running the Spec Motor that we ran last year in the Topless Outlaw races.
And people have actually mentioned that about, why are we trying to take a Spec Motor to a race like that? And, typically, Boyd, you don't need a whole lot of motor typically. I know it has been wet here lately, and Riley's been doing a great job on the track prep and all, so I'm hoping it's not going to be wide open and everything, but, if it is, that's just kind of the cards we're dealt. But, we're really going over there to try to get some laps on the new tires so that we're kind of more prepared for when the World Outlaws come to Talladega. That way we're not just showing up down there at a track that we know we should be good at, we know like the back of our hand, and then have a curveball thrown in with the new tires and not know what to expect. So it's more than just going over there with a small motor. Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's a bigger picture there.
Because we've been told a 2 is softer than a 1350.
3 is harder, and they're junk, and they don't last. So, we want to kind of be ahead of that game there.
We're just trying to get.
We want to know firsthand, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Tire wear is mainly why we're going over there. We just kind of want to see tire wear. I'll answer that question in just a second. I see your question, Jim John. What do you think of the new tire deal?
I think once everything gets straightened out and they get series and tracks quit offering you 4 and 5 and 10 and 12 different compounds to run, I think it's going to be good. My personal opinion, I think if they would have done away with the 1s and 2s and told you to run a 3 and a 4 and been done with it, or even a 4, I'd have been great with a 4, but we all know that ain't going to happen because that's going to hurt their pocketbook. So, that's my opinion, and what can you do? Just you either gotta spend money and roll with it, or quit and don't.
We might have a TikTok video coming out about tires here soon, right?
I don't know.
If you can figure it out. Okay, but anyway, what do you think of the new wall at Talladega? I know we've got that question a lot too.
I think it's going to be interesting. I don't think it's going to be a bad thing at all. That has been kind of a thorn in the side as far as cleaning up wrecks when people go off the track. It takes forever, and you get stuck. And I've actually went off of it and
killed a GoPro.
I didn't think it hadn't even rained, and I go off of it and I'm down there and I'm stuck, and I'm like, man, what in the world? Where'd this water come from? And
right.
So I think it's a good thing.
And the GoPro was right by him, and the GoPro got wet.
As far as racing though goes, I'm not sure if it'll have any effect on the racing. If anything, it might make it a little bit better because you've got a wall there to maybe. It's hard to say that because typically the clay around here don't build cushions up. Right. It's not as sticky as the other types of surfaces around the country, but you can be wishful.
They did put a new surface though,
yeah.
So you just never know.
And that's why we wanted to go practice this weekend too, to try to make some laps on the track and see how all this new stuff's going to play out and be better prepared.
Right. All right, so let me mark off some of the ones that I already asked you so I know what I have already asked you. Okay. All right, so let's go back to our questions on YouTube here. How do you think the Capital run will do in Super? Would there only really be one Capital that runs toward the front in the World of Outlaws with Shane Clanton?
Well, there ain't but one way to find out. That's one thing about that. I feel like we got a really good car and really good equipment underneath us, and it's all you can do is try. So
Definitely the best equipment he's ever had in his career. So if it can be done, it can be done now versus when we've tried in the past, which we didn't really try in the past. We ran locally.
Yeah, and we've never had a true super motor. We've always had a spec motor.
A spec motor.
Spec type motor.
Right. All right. What is going to be a successful super racing year for you this year? I want to see you go to the World 100 or the Prairie Dirt Classic soon. So that was actually a question I have.
I would, World 100, Prairie Dirt Classic. I mean, those would tracks that would be. Those are bucket list tracks. Obviously, I mean we're trying to work with some partners and come up with some partners to where we can kind of commit to a series type deal and things right now haven't fell into place just perfect just yet.
Which we did get a late start.
Yeah, we did get a late start, so we're trying to catch back up to that. But as far as like a World 100 type event, it would take some really big partners to come on to allow that. Not going to say it can't happen. Obviously, things change daily. And, I mean, if something like that happened and came up, I'd jump on it in a heartbeat. But, that's we got to be realistic as well. And
there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes that a lot of people don't know.
As far as your question about a successful year in Super, what I want to, a realistic goal, man.
Realistic.
That's a big word. But a real goal is we're going to be running some pretty good races, pretty big races at that. There's going to be some very good cars, very good competition. And, if we can make every race we try to, that's a win in my book. Obviously, getting the first super win would be huge, especially if we could win a race like some of these races we're going to. Mm-hmm. So,
I've got a serious question.
What?
If you were to win a big super race, say we are going to win a big super race, but say it happens soon. Will Double D be making an appearance?
I believe I've done had a TikTok about that.
Okay, well, these people may not be on TikTok. Okay. Speaking of TikTok, go ahead and tell them what your TikTok is so they can take you out there, too.
The Rockledge Rocket. So, We've done a TikTok video about a victory celebration. So, and in that TikTok video, if you guys didn't see it, I said, if we could win the World Outlaw race at Talladega, I will slap and embarrass myself in Victory Lane. I promise. I'm not making light of that because I would, it would be a dream to win that race. But I know that, at the same time, who's going to be there and what we're going to have to do. So,
right.
If I could do that, I would make an idiot of myself in Victory Lane. I promise.
I'll have to put Double D in my backpack.
It would be YouTube gold. I can promise you.
Speaking of Double D, what do you guys think about Double D? Do y'all like Double D? Do y'all think it's crazy? We've had nothing but good things said about Double D. I think one person had something negative.
Been one or two.
But that's pretty much it. But Double D is my hero. Brent, that's the one that did our rap. There was something else I was going to ask you about Double D.
What did Hank say?
Hank said Brad celebrates more than Austin Dillon.
What was that supposed to mean?
Somebody said Double D is quite a character. Well, there's something I was going to say about Double. Oh, okay. This is a question. Yes, I like Double D. This is a question that a bunch of people ask. This is pertaining to Double D. How does Double D keep a straight face?
A straight face?
Yeah, with all the goofiness going on. How does he keep a straight face?
Why are you asking me?
Because that's your, what is it, alter ego?
I'm not Double D. I don't know how to... I can't answer that. You have to ask him.
Somebody said I love the Double D character. I laugh at him every time. Well, that's our goal. That's our goal, to bring you guys some entertainment, to make you guys laugh, because Lord knows in this day and time we all need to laugh a little bit.
Yeah. And I don't remember if I've said that in a video or not, but it's not to offend nobody. I hope nobody takes offense to it. It's just comedy. I mean, that's all it is. I laugh at myself, so I hope you can,
Baby, you know somebody's going to get offended.
Well,
Everybody gets offended in this day and time.
I'm hoping if you're offended, I hope you can laugh about it. Or, whatever.
It's not a jab at anybody.
No.
It's just funny. We were on Amazon one day and just seen it, and we think it's hilarious. So anyway, Double D knows Leaf Springs.
Absolutely.
That sounded just like Double D.
What are you talking about? I was trying to mimic him. I nearly forgot there for a minute. Oh boy.
Okay. Have you seen the umpteen different things Dylan does after a win?
Well,
Well,
I'll put it to shame if I win that World Outlaw race.
Is there a difference between chassis brands and how they are built? Is the major difference in having a top-notch shock package or just having what you can afford?
I don't know. That's kind of a really hard question. I mean, at the end of the day, all cars are just bars. I mean, that's a simple answer.
Right.
I do feel like that some processes kind of help, but is that proven? I don't know. And then shocks, I definitely think shocks are a very vital part. You can take a really good car and put a cheaper set of shocks on it, and you're not gonna be
happy with it.
No. So shocks are expensive. Good shocks are very expensive, but they're worth the money.
Speaking of shocks, what is your favorite brand?
Penske by far.
Okay. Let's see. Double D with his Leaf Spring and Victory Lane at Talladega Dirt Track after the World of Outlaw feature.
Hold a leaf spring up like it's a trophy.
Well, it's more important.
Make Leaf Springs great again. That's a t-shirt, baby.
That's a t-shirt. Hold on.
What's more important, chassis or shocks? I definitely think shocks are more important. Obviously you got to have a good chassis, kind of like we referred to just a second ago. I mean,
It goes hand in hand.
Yeah, I mean, you got to have a good chassis, but shocks are huge.
Enjoy watching you guys here in Arkansas.
Thank you.
All right, so what is kind of your thought process and your plans?
Who knows?
Your plans for this year. Like, I know we have a set schedule and we've already released that. But could there be races added, taken away?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's what I was saying. We're in talks with some partners, possible partners, and our goal is to run a series. I would love to run the Hunt to Front series and try for Rookie of the Year, but obviously there's some races that are far-fetched for us and pretty good traveling distance. So, right now we're just going to hit the ones that we know we can hit and go from there. Just have to, it boils down to funding.
Right.
100%.
Because we just have a 2500 HD that we pull with, so you got fuel, and then we don't have anything to sleep in, so we'd have to get a hotel room. So you got that on top of everything else. So it's just going to take some funding. Is there a requirement for what type of shocks you have to use?
What now?
Is there a requirement for what type of shocks you have to use? Non-super.
I want to say that it just says you can only run one shock per wheel. And I think it's got to be mounted vertically, except for the left rear. You can run the extra traction, left rear front shock, traction shock, whatever you want to call it. So pretty open, really.
On super.
Yeah.
Now you go to 602s, they've got to be certain, but supers is super.
Supers, 604, and limiteds. I mean, they're all the same shock rule, but
Right.
once you go down to the 602s, that's when you start getting into shock rules.
Right. If you had a big budget, what chassis would you really go with?
I don't know. I mean, I would obviously call around and do some talking and just see. I mean, I don't. Honestly, I'm happy with what I got right now. So, I don't know. It's hard to answer.
Mm-hmm. Do you think there's a chassis out there that is better than any other chassis?
What?
Let me rephrase that. If you were to say, this is the best chassis, what would you say it is?
You know, it's hard to answer that. I mean, you're going to see goers and comers. I mean, everybody right now, obviously, everybody's jumping to Longhorn ship. Longhorn started out setting the world on fire this year, and now you've seen Rocket turn back around. So, you know, I think it's safe to say that those are the two top brands, but they have the most cars in the nation. I mean, every time you turn around and look, 99% of the Lucas and World Outlaw field is Rockets or Longhorns.
And they're constantly swapping back and forth. So being a Longhorn this year, next year they're in an XR1.
Right. So, I mean, it's easy to say that those two are the top brands, but, I mean, it's hard not to be when you got 99% of the cars out there. So
Right. They've got it pretty much locked down. Mm-hmm. The steel block race at Eldora is going to be a good one.
Steel block race at Eldora? I didn't know nothing about that. Who said that?
David Cardwell.
Huh. I ain't seen that, David.
Congratulations on the championship. Awesome run. I want to see you in a Longhorn. You have the talent. Clay from Mobile.
Thank you, Clay.
Hank said something, but I don't know what he said.
Hank said what?
Hank said no interest.
No enterers.
What are you talking about, Hank?
Maybe he's talking about a specific shock brand.
Maybe. Steel Block Bandit is hosting it.
Oh, I'll have to take a look into that. I hadn't seen that. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah. All right, so let's get back to you kind of touched on your plans, but so
you kept asking me questions.
I'm sorry. Well, that's the whole point of this, isn't it? But
well, let me answer the question before you ask a new question.
You know I have ADD.
Oh well.
But anyway.
That Mountain Dew don't help.
But I would be in there.
Okay, get back.
Okay. So,
what was the question? I don't even remember what it was.
Plans. And I know everybody asks about certain series. Mm-hmm. Your plan is to run right now 2 World of Outlaw races, a good many Hunt the Front races, mm-hmm. and then some Topless Outlaw races. Mm-hmm. Is there any other races you would like to go to that you are possibly looking at? Any local races?
Well, I mean, you know, it just depends on if we do end up running a series or not.
Right.
You know, if we do, then obviously the local racing will really kind of be limited. You know, if we don't, Talladega's definitely got some bigger super races, you know, like the Ironman series. They come there and I think it's like 10,000 to win or so.
Right.
Then they obviously got the memorial races that they always do every year for like Alfred and
Twin 25s.
And a couple of other different races. So, you know, if we do stay locally, we'll definitely hit those and look at Boyd's. Boyd's has a lot of super late model racing during the year, generally with the Ironman series and a couple other series. So, it's not out of the question. It's just going to fall down to what we end up doing.
Within a 2 hour, so I know you said Magnolia is your favorite racetrack. Within a 2 hour drive, what is your favorite racetrack? Magnolia is about 3.5 for us.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say your favorite local?
Well, you've either got Talladega or Lloyd's.
Mm-hmm.
So,
No, you got a couple more that we don't go to, but
for 2 hours. I mean, it would be between Boyd's and Talladega. I mean, I like Talladega definitely because I got the most laps around it, and I kind of know it like the back of my hand, so to say. Maybe not this year after they've changed everything, but I still consider it a home track.
mm-hmm.
And then Boyd's, I enjoy it. And it generally has good racing. I like the way Riley's got everything going in the right direction, I feel like. And you know, you're out of there at a very good time. That's the main thing is that. The facilities are nice, and, you know, and it's a tough track. It always kicks my tail. I mean, that place is tough. So it's a challenge, but it's fun.
Riley Hickman does a really good job on that track.
He does a great job.
Mason Talladega needs resurfacing. That's what they've been working on all winter.
Mm-hmm.
So it should be good. Still thought Bandits would be a good series to follow.
Yeah, the only problem with them is they're more 5-6 hours away from us. Most of their races, you know,
They're more Tennessee, North Carolina, South Carolina.
Yeah, the one of the closest tracks that they come to that would be closest to us, I believe. Now, don't hold me to that. Would be Smoky Mountain.
Yeah,
I think that's the closest race they come. Yeah, because Smoky Mountain's 3 hours, and then I think they're going to Bristol, if I'm not mistaken, and Bristol's almost 4 hours from us. So
and that won't be happening.
no, I'm not.
We're not taking a corner of Bristol. They tear up too much stuff.
Yeah.
Can you come to Deep South and Loxley?
It's possible. I know one of the Hunt to Front races are supposed to be there, so I mean, it's possible.
Okay. All right, so we got that. Another question we kind of get, we've been asked a couple of times is, why didn't we go with a plastic body? You know, everybody else is running plastic bodies or at least quarter panels. Why didn't we?
Well, I honestly looked at it, and I looked at ordering some stacked products, but when we added it to the cart and everything, you know, shipping was more than a quarter panel was. So I don't know if, you know, I didn't look into seeing if there was any local dealers. Would you hurry up? Thank you. Good Lord.
Do you want me to make your other eye red?
God.
I gotta have my Mountain Dew.
But what was the question? Oh, shipping was more than a body panel was, so that's why we didn't go with that. And somebody wouldn't let me pay the shipping, so I was gonna do it, but
I ain't paying that much for shipping. That's insanity. All right, what do you think about your new helmet? Why don't you go get your new helmet? Show them your new helmet.
I done got it packed up. It's ready to go.
Well, that's really rude.
They can see the helmet in the YouTube video tomorrow.
All right, so he did get a new helmet at the car show. I was just thinking of stuff to write down. But anyway, I got to make Leaf Springs great again. This is going to be a good, I got to get to work on that.
Well, I need to hit Brandon up.
Yeah. Brandon, I got another t-shirt idea coming at you. This one will be a pretty easy one, I think. But anyway,
Probably not.
He's still three shirts behind. I've thrown so much at him.
What y'all think of Brandon's movie poster with the Days of Dirt looking like Tom Cruise up there? Kind of a fat, chubby, bearded Tom Cruise, but he said, "Bring it on."
I don't know how Brandon deals with us because it's constantly every week. I'm like, "Hey, Brandon, will you do this? Hey, Brandon, will you do this?" So we definitely keep him busy. If nobody else does,
don't worry, Brandon. We'll see you next week.
We need another t-shirt design. All right. If you guys don't have any more questions, we're gonna hop off here and go watch some racing.
Maybe it's about feature time.
Yeah, we got a Hunt the Front TV, so we're gonna go watch some racing. We got a night with our little girl gone, so we get to relax. So that's why we're able to go live and you don't hear her in the background. She's at my mom's. But anyway, we appreciate all of you guys watching. Thanks for all of the comments, all the questions, all the interactions. You guys are awesome. We will be practicing tomorrow night at Talladega Short Track. The video should come out on Sunday, and then we'll be racing, good Lord willing, next Friday and Saturday at Boyd Speedway for the World of Outlaw race. After that, our next planned race is, what'd you say the dates were?
the 21st, 22nd World Outlaws at Talladega, but we may, when depending on when we get to Supermotor and all that, we may look at adding just a local race at Talladega just to get some laps on the new motor. So
Right.
The 1st of April.
Okay. All right, sounds good. We'll go ahead and thank all your sponsors.
Yeah, thanks to Warp Speed Performance Parts, KT Heating and Air, Vinson Race Engines, Penske Shocks, Brin Transmission, Gorsuch Performance, Marshall, Travis, all those guys. Brandon Boyd, that's been commenting on here. All South Graphics, Signs and Graphics. Man, I'll get that right. But you guys need anything, y'all reach out to Brandon. Y'all can find him on Facebook. Dallas at BarryApparelCo.com. That's where you get all your Days of Dirt, Bradbury t-shirts and merchandise and all that. And you can even, all you ladies, she's got more of a women's section on there too for her.
Yeah, any Racing Wife shirts, Racing
Her
Mom
shirts.
all that stuff I can take care of. Baseball Mom, baseball, all that, baseball, softball, anything like that we can take care of.
How'd you like doing them baseball jerseys? She just got done doing baseball jerseys.
I got
For the whole
done
team.
2 teams. Yeah, that was fun. I'm about to do some more. But we appreciate you guys. Hope you guys have a great week. Our practice video should be coming out Sunday, and we can't wait for you guys to watch it. Hope you guys have a great weekend.